यतिराजाय विवेकानंद सूरये सच्चित् सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। On this very auspicious occasion of Navaratri celebrations observed all over the country, and offering my salutations to Mother Durga, Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi on his birthday, it's indeed a wonderful opportunity for me to be invited for a short time by Mrs. Swati and others to spend a few minutes with young people like you who are participating in a very important program in their life, for giving back something to nature, to contributing something for the development of the society and their own personality. As we do Seva in whatever form, whether it's education or health or hygiene or environment, I expect and hope that each one of you would have some philosophy behind your mind. There should be a backdrop for your action. Unless there is a screen, you cannot hold the film. So in spite of the actions, in spite of the work outside, I suggest there should be a philosophy like a backdrop, like a curtain, on which all actions and all events will be projected. Without that screen, any amount of light on the wall will not have the same effect. So the screen has already been provided to us by our ancient masters, right from Vedic times till today. Number one, let us go back to the Upanishads, the source of all Indian culture and strength. There is the first Upanishad in the big list of Upanishads called the Isha Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, full of fantastic ideas about action and non-action, between reality and falsehood. The first line is very clear. It says, Ishavasyam idam sarvam. God in everything. Try to see the divine in everything. And by sacrifice, you can enjoy much more than holding back in your hand. Ishavasyam idam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat. Tena tyaktena bhunjita ma grida kasya svidhanam. After all, whose wealth it is? Kasya svidhanam. Tena tyaktena, by giving something back, bhunjita, you can enjoy also. And then similarly, we have a philosophy of action in the Purusha Sukta, which is chanted almost in every ancient Hindu family. Purusha yevedagam sarvam, the Mahapurusha has sacrificed himself. A big yajna took place during the Vedic times, and the Mahapurusha has contributed for what we see around called the universe, the Brahmanda. And according to science, what is happening there outside in the cosmos is happening inside in this small tiny body-mind complex. One is called the macrocosm and another is called the microcosm. Brahmanda and the Pindanda. Both are working on the same plane. This has been scientifically proved by the Florida State University laboratory. Somebody sent me a film from the United States. Amazing to see. The title is The Fantastic Journey. 10 to the power of 23. They take you deep into beyond the Big Bang. And what is happening there, to their amazement, they find in the birth and growth and death of an oak leaf in the gardens of Florida State University. Just an oak leaf, not just the tree full. So that gives a joy, that gives a big opening to us that what is happening there is happening in me. That is the Mahapurusha concept which the rishis discovered without any mechanism, because their mind was in tune with the cosmos. And the third angle of the triangle comes in the Bhagavad Gita. Sarvata panipadam tat sarvata shishiromukham sarvata shrutimaloke sarvam avritya tishtati. In the 13th chapter, this is everything, sarvam avritya tishtati. Everything is established by me. One is called the kshetra, the other is called the kshetragna. I am trying to bore you with little philosophy in the beginning. One is called the field, another is the knower of the field. What is the field? Your laboratory, your house, your factory, your place of work. That is the kshetra. And one who works in the kshetra should have knowledge of himself also. Just like the player who goes into the field, cricket or volleyball or football or tennis, has knowledge about his own potentiality, his competency. Only knowing about the field and he does not know himself, it will be like a robo working in an office. So that is the interesting drama, interesting music that the rishis have given to us. So that is where the seva starts. If I am potentially divine, you are also potentially divine. So since I know something about myself, I'll share my knowledge with you. I'll share my energy with you. I'll share my time with you and make you happy, make you living, make you joyful, wipe your tears, give a bread to the orphan, etc., 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 that will come. Why should I give? That is a big question. People ask, why should I give? Right again, go back to the philosophical part of our tradition. It says it's your very birthright to give. It is your nature to give. Let me see if you just close your nose without breathing for 10 seconds. You cannot. Automatically your mouth will open and you start inhaling and exhaling. Body has to take, body has to give. So similarly in our daily life, whoever you are, whatever is your background. So this joy of giving, this joy of sharing is part of our human nature. And everything is sacrificing in this world. Let it be the trees, let it be the birds, let it be the ant, let it be the elephant, let it be the prime minister. Everything is giving. Let it be the sunrise and the sunset. It's a sacrifice. The inhalation and exhalation is a sacrifice. Kala by itself is sacrifice. But only thing, we are not giving it consciously, we are not giving joyfully. That is why nature gives a rap on the knuckles. Vivekananda says, before it is too late, why don't you give it joyfully? Otherwise the giving will be very painful. It will catch you by the neck and make your hands open. How painful it will be to give. So the very fact that I am living in this body and get some diseases itself is a sacrifice. Whether it's from a headache or to the toe ache or to a high BP or cholesterol. It's a tax that man is paying for living in the body. We have to give something to nature. So at every stage, right from the time we get up till we go back to bed, we are giving. But why don't we give it with a tremendous joy and a tremendous way to become better? A new opening will take place. So it's a beautiful story which I remember now. Two brothers in a village had a lot of property. Father passed away, leaving tons and tons of paddy and acres of fields. One brother unmarried, another brother married with children. As they were living and earning and selling their paddy and leading a comfortable life, the unmarried brother got an idea. Why should I hoard so much of paddy and so much of grains and fields? Poor brother, married with children, lot of responsibility. I will give something to him without his knowledge, because he will not accept from me. So midnight he used to get up, take a bag of paddy and go to the elder brother's house from the backside, put it in the go down and come back silently and sleep. After a few months, the elder brother got an idea of giving. He says, what is this? I am hoarding. My children are there. In my old age, they will take care of me. My poor younger brother has now nobody to take care. Let me share something for him. So in the night, he is going in another route and putting a bag of paddy in his house and coming. One night, incidentally or accidentally, both the brothers meet in the center of the village with the paddy bag on their back. And they are amazed at each other's unknown contribution, service to each other. They shed tears of joy and then go back, and then they live a much more dignified and a purposeful life. Then after many years, the story says that they pass away, and the village panchayat plan or decide to construct a temple in the village. A big discussion, which land, which area, how much area we should have. Then the panchayat leader, who came to know about the meeting of these two brothers in the middle of the night, comes to an understanding or proposes that the place where they met on the middle of the night is the ideal site for the temple. Let us build it there. So the very act of giving, knowingly or unknowingly, brought about a sanctity. The temple was constructed in the place where they met. So similarly in our life, every action becomes a worship if we have that divine attitude towards ourselves. The purpose of life, psychology says, is to live a life of purpose. But that purpose is not just for one's own appeasement and luxury. It is for a divine purpose, a higher purpose. Krishna tells in the Bhagavad Gita very clearly, Manushyanam sahasresha, among thousands and thousands of people, there are few people who try to succeed, who try to reach me. Amongst that, one or two only perchance realize me. He gives a very broad spectrum and puts a question before us, why shouldn't that one person be you? Why shouldn't you succeed? Why shouldn't you elevate yourself? Why don't I change? What makes me hold back? What makes me take only from nature and contribute nothing to the mango tree or to the coconut tree? Once the question comes, why not I change? The change automatically takes place. Because we see the suffering today, we see the I for myself attitude today. We are solving one problem, creating 5 problems. At the physical level, at the mental level, at the moral level, at the family level, spiritual level. We are going 1 step forward, 5 steps backward, India progressing. It is a big question mark today. So at the end of the day, along with service, what makes it effective, what makes it strong, what makes it energizing is your character. Is your character. Once that character is there, nothing else matters in the world. If character is not there, take it from me, nothing else matters in the world. Because there is no character today, one followed by number of zeros, uncountable, the people are all going to Tihar jail. There's a big procession of VIPs today. Why? Because I for myself, okay, you need to have roti, kapda or makan. But the problem that the mind doesn't stop there. I for myself, acceptable. You are also for myself. I don't care for the nation. You are there for me to exploit you. So the Kunchita Buddhi starts there. One is Vikasita Buddhi, another is Kunchita Buddhi. Expansive mind and a contracted mind. But what is real change in our character? Vyavasayatmika Buddhi, Ekeha Kurunandana. Vikasita Vyaktitva. Expansive intellect, expansive personality. So by this act of great Seva, Vivekananda says in a very powerful letter, the earlier times it was all Matrudevo Bhava, Pitrudevo Bhava, acceptable, practicable, and it is part of our great tradition. But now the new mantra for this age is Murka Devo Bhava, Daridra Devo Bhava, Rogi Devo Bhava. Let these be your gods. That is where Swamiji meditated not on God, not on any mantra, not on any matam. For the first time in India's religious history, a sannyasi for all practical purposes, he is meditating at Kanyakumari on INDIA. India was his God. Past of India, present of India, and the future of India. 3 days and 3 nights shedding tears of pain, of agony and joy. He saw, what have we done to this great country? We have been giving ditch water when the perennial rivers of the Ganga is flowing by. We have been giving kicks to them when they are building temples and buildings for us. Let us do something. That is why he was a rebel, like he was swimming against the current. And in that testing times, he started an organization, though many organizations were there at that time. What was not there in India? Between the 1890s and the 1940s. Great leaders were there, great organizations, Arya Samaj, Brahma Samaj, and so many other reformatory centers were there, but they could not bring about a metamorphosis. They were excellent, but it was for Swami Vivekananda to start something different. Because his information, his assimilation was different. And Mahatma Gandhi, when he was thrown out of the train, all of you might have known, he just thought, today you threw me out of the train, tomorrow I will throw you out of the country. He made a right royal resolution to start the freedom movement. And this Mahatma Gandhi, whose birthday we are celebrating today, says, after reading Vivekananda, the love that I had for India grew 1,000-fold. He said Vivekananda makes his own introduction. Unfortunately, the two minds could not meet, because Swamiji was away busy in some other place. Mahatma Gandhi could not meet Vivekananda after coming back from South Africa. So this philosophical background all of us should have before doing any seva. Some personal, what you call attitudinal change. Have a healthy self-image of yourself. Healthy self-image of yourself. America could not understand this at that time. Vivekananda said, the healthy self-image is that you are a child of immortal bliss. Amrutasya putraha. What a sweet name, brethren. Allow me to call you by that name, Amrutasya putraha. You are not a tiny body-mind complex, 5 feet, 6 feet, at the mercy of nature. Like a tiny boat drawn into the yawning chasm one moment, thrown over the high billows the other moment, a wreck in nature. Is that all me? Then there is despair, there is agony. Why all this? But no, the spirit, the Vedanta says, no, you are not body-mind complex, you are not just flesh-blood, you are a spirit living in the body. Amrutasya putraha. Allow me to call you brethren by that sweet name, children of immortal bliss. That gives me great joy. If I am a child of immortal bliss, he, she, X, Y, Z, all of you are children of immortal bliss. So I share my joy with you and give you that inspiration and that joy in your life. So that idea we have to keep on broadcasting as early as possible by our lifestyle and by our action. Be the change yourself that you want to see. But what is that change? It's that character change. Is India poor anymore today? As far as our wealth is concerned? No. Billions and billions of dollars with few people? India is not poor anymore. Tremendous purchasing power we have. Is India poor in brain power? No. Brilliant minds are there who can create wonders in this planet, in this part of the planet. But what is our poverty? Poverty, Sri Ramakrishna tells, write 2 zeros on the blackboard, no value. 10 zeros, no value. But before 2 zeros put number 1, we call it 100. That 1 is character. That character makes a lot of difference. If I have 100 rupees and I have no character, I can manipulate and cheat the government. If I have character, that 100 I can make it into 1,000 and also share with 1,000 people. I don't consider money as money, I consider as a source of welfare. Lakshmi, Shri is not just money, it is welfare, it is happiness. And the fourth philosophical expression comes in the Devi Mahatmyam that we are observing from the last 3 days, and today is the Shashti, 6th day. Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Matra Rupena Samstita. Yesterday I was reading some statistics, 54 to 60% of women do not have toilets in India. There's a tremendous cry of pain and agony. So can I bring about a metamorphosis in my character? Yes, I understand, as per our discussion, etc. Weekends you come, other days you are busy, etc., etc. But can I give something little more? Can somebody take it a little more career or service-oriented career, which can give you right royal tributes from the whole world, like Albert Schweitzer, who used his medical knowledge for relief of the tribals in South Africa. And there's a very beautiful story in the life of Albert Schweitzer after he got the Nobel Prize. He was invited to Chicago by the CEOs of Chicago. And the 16 or 17 CEOs felicitated him in a very huge 10-star hotel. And after the meeting and the felicitation is over, the waitress brought a big piece of cake to be cut and distributed. And Albert Schweitzer asked the host, how many people are there? 16. He cut 16 pieces of that huge cake and took one piece and cut one more. The host protested, sir, there are only 16, no 17. No, there is 17th person. Who is it, sir? The waitress who is standing there who brought us this cake. She is important for me. She may not be important for you. She is standing there, and the expression of that waitress of that hotel said, this is the first time in my life somebody is treating me as a human being. Somebody is offering me the part of which I have brought to just as my job. But look at the noble-minded man. She is also important for him. When Vivekananda was walking in America, was traveling by train somewhere in Rajasthan, he saw a very poor, elderly Muslim person selling some peanuts in the train. Hundreds of people were there, but nobody was purchasing. That poor man's face was shrinking and shrinking. And there was a brahmachari sitting beside Vivekananda. Vivekananda signaled him, buy little peanuts, groundnuts. The brahmachari knew that Vivekananda should not eat because of some health problem. He signaled, Swamiji, you should not eat. Swamiji again signaled back, insisted him to buy 1 rupee worth of groundnuts at that time. That 1 rupee was given, Swamiji took the groundnuts and immediately started distributing amongst the other passengers. Then the brahmachari said, why? Swami, you did not eat, you are distributing. He said, the purpose was not that. When I gave that 1 rupee to that poor man, did you see the smile on his face? That is what I was looking for, not these groundnuts. That is where a little more than what I can give. Can I stretch my hand a little more? It is possible. Can I give a little more? It is possible. But that requires that spark inside. That requires that concern, that feeling inside. It is not just sympathy, it is empathy. If you do not have this empathy at a larger frame of life, then naturally it will go back to sympathy. I only pity, but I am not giving a little more than what I can or what I should. So Seva is a very big, powerful tool which can metamorphosize your personality, like a caterpillar becoming a butterfly. So Sri Ramakrishna taught this to Vivekananda, a young boy Narendra like you, a college student. One day he came from Scottish Church College, room was full of people, devotees sitting, there was no space for Narendra to go inside. And Narendra and his classmate were walking in the veranda and listening through the window what their Guru Sri Ramakrishna was teaching. Some bhaktas from another part of Calcutta in Bengal, they came to talk to Sri Ramakrishna about Vaishnava Seva, Vaishnava Bhakti. Then one person made 3 statements, which is part of Vaishnava tradition. The first statement, very good, Name Ruchi, taste in the name of God. Very good, Sri Ramakrishna appreciated. Second, Vaishnava Seva, serve the devotees of Vishnu cult. Okay. The third, Jive Daya. That person mentioned Jive Daya. Instantly Sri Ramakrishna became serious. He went into meditation. All people kept quiet. Nobody talked because he became very grave. Narendra also stood and watching through the window. It took 20 minutes for his mind to come back. Because Sri Ramakrishna was going into meditation, into samadhi, as easily as all of us go to sleep. In a wink he used to go to samadhi, like a wink we all sleep. It took 20 minutes for his mind to come back to body consciousness. And afterwards he said, who is it that told last statement? That man raised his hand. Jive Daya. With that grave attitude, Sri Ramakrishna taught him a lesson of his life. He said, what? Jive Daya? Who are you to show Daya to Jivas? Are you Lord God to show Daya? No, you have no right to show Daya. You have right to do Seva. Don't show Daya. Do Seva. Shivagnane Jiva Seva. Serve God with the idea of Shiva dwelling there. Do Namaskaram to him. Vivekananda heard this. He stood in one place. His hair stood on one end. And he told his friend, hey, bhai, listen what our master is telling. Till now I thought I should show Daya to people suffering. Today I got a greatest lesson in my life. Not Daya, but Seva. If I get an opportunity, this message I will spread all over the world and myself will do Seva. I will not show Daya. That Sri Ramakrishna taught to young Narendra, who was just 23 years old, college student, and metamorphosized into future what Vivekananda called him, said, Shivagnane Jiva Seva. So he wanted to train a band of young people. He said 100,000 men and women, fired with the zeal of holiness, fortified with eternal faith in the Lord, nerved to the lion's courage by their sympathy for the poor and the fallen and the downtrodden, will go over the length and breadth of the land, preaching the gospel of salvation, preaching the gospel of equality, preaching the gospel of social rising up, and above all, preaching the gospel of divinity. Rise, O man, rouse that divinity inside. Don't make him a beggar. Don't make him a beggar. Give him back, in his own words, his individuality. Give him back the dignity. Don't make him a beggar. Because Daya, so Seva, it can be different kinds. It can be education, yes. It can be just food. Annadhanam, excellent. People do Annadhanam on their birthdays or festival days. The second is Vidyadhanam, okay. But then the higher knowledge which can give him back his identity is Gnanadhanam. His self-identity, self-knowledge. So that goal we should have in life if we have to do Seva. There is a beautiful poem, bhajan, which we sing sometimes in our mat. Chetan Devaki Seva Karo, Janma Safal Ho Jai. प्रेम पुष्प से पूजन कीजे जगमग ज्योत जगे उजियारो. प्रेम पुष्प से पूजन कीजे चेतन देव की सेवा करो जन्म सफल हो जाए. What more do we want in life, having been born as a man after 80 million lives on this earth? The very fact that I am born as a human being gives me a value and a dignity. What more do I want? Swami Vivekananda says, having been born as a man, don't search for glass beads when the diamonds are within you. He gives a master stroke for an adventure. Why are you searching for glass beads? Chilli gavalu kosam enduku edugutunnarandi? Vajra vaidhuryalu మీ హృదయంలో ఉన్నాయి. దైవీ సంపత్ మీ హృదయంలో ఉంది. We have become beggars in this world of richness because I have lost my self-knowledge. Arrogance has increased too much. Carelessness, callousness. So that ideas have to be, mind has to be broken. So much time, so much money, so much of enjoyments. For what? So that hard to feel has to be roused inside out. It's not just a newspaper, it's not just a statistical service that we should do. Rouse that divinity inside. Go, one life, what is there? See what happens to you if you go. So that aspects of looking upon God and man and doing that seva will make a great difference in what we do. Let it be sweeping the floor, or let it be giving a bread, let it be giving some medicine, or let it be teaching somebody some physics, chemistry or maths. So that idea, when we go deeper and deeper, there will be tremendous change in the national consciousness. It won't become only social work or social this one. It will become a tremendous agent of change. Bring the chemicals together. The crystallization will take care of itself. So when we go to a school, when we go to a hospital, when we go this, understand the needs of the people. Can I do something? Even if I am not there, can I pray? Can I pray? Swami says, suppose you cannot do physically. He says, can you think the least good of others? Think about the least good of others. Sincerely, 5 people of you, this world will change. So that bombardment we need today. We need a shock treatment at all levels, from school level up to the big CEO or an entrepreneur. Because we know so many things, but we are not able to execute them or don't put our hand, heart and mind into that as a full-blooded action. There's a very funny incident, story they tell in Bengal. Some 5 drunkards, after having a nice drink, wanted to play a game among themselves, just a mad game. And they thought varieties of game they did not like, everyone. And one game they thought, let us play the game of death. And what is the death? One fellow will be acting like a dead man, other 4 will carry him on a stretcher to the graveyard. That is the game they wanted to play. All right, one fellow agreed, I will be the dead man today. Other 4, they took him, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai, Ram Naam Satya Hai. They were walking in the street. And they came across 4 roads, a junction. So none of the 4 people know the way to the graveyard. The first fellow was pulling right side, the cart. The second fellow left side. The third fellow to the right side, third side. Each one was pulling the cart, and this fellow's sleep was disturbed. Because he was sleeping on the cart nicely, other 4 are carrying them, Ram Naam Satya Hai. Then they were pulling the cart this way, that way. This is the way to the graveyard. This is the way to the crematorium. This is the way graveyard. 5 minutes that fellow could not tolerate. He said, hey, what are you doing? Why are you pulling me this way and that way? And one of their friends said, we are caught up in here a junction. We do not know the way to the graveyard or to the crematorium. So we are fighting. And that fellow who was acting like a dead man said, what to do? I know the way to the crematorium, but what to do? I am only dead man today. I am acting like a dead man today, I cannot tell, and slept. All of us know what to do, but acting like a dead man. So like Roma Rola, the French writer Vivekananda's life said, we need a shock treatment today. We are acting like a dead man. He said, Vivekananda's words are music like an electric shock that passes through the veins 30 years distance. I cannot read those books without getting a shock through me. That shock treatment we need today. And then we will get up from our what you call drowsiness or that sleepy state. Jago mere, there is a beautiful couplet. Jago mere Bharat Vasi, samay nahi hai sone ka, lekar sandesh Swami ji ka, karke kuch dikhane ka. Can I do a little more? You are doing Saturday, Sunday. Can I do it on Friday also? And what is IT after all? What is corporate after all? Because one cardiologist told me, what took 10 million years for evolution to come to this level, this IT industry changed in 10 years. Evolution has gone back to its night state. Night has become day, day has become night. There are people who have not seen sunlight. There are people who have not seen Independence Day, they have seen only American Independence Day. That fellows are ruling us indirectly, again going back to the second slavery, second freedom movement. And there are people who are passing sleepless nights, including Barack Obama, knowing that whether India and China will conquer America or whether all the jobs will go away to India or India will suffer. So finally, what is the net result? All of us are going 1 step forward, 5 steps backward. But there is one person in Belgaum, I don't know whether Swati and other knows, called Dr. Hundre. What a unique personality. He challenged the might of the Englishmen and the Frenchmen and the European men and the Dutchmen to produce fantastic valves by his own brain. He's a mechanical engineer from IIT Kharagpur. He said, no, not one European gadget will purchase. European missionary will purchase. No, India has got the brains to do it. So 4 of his IIT people have produced their own machines, and today it is one of the most richest small-scale industries in Karnataka. Pilgrimage Center in Karnataka. All the MBAs have to do 3 months compulsory project in Dr. Hundre's factory. What changes he has not brought, what profits he is earning, and he is revolutionizing the corporate world of Karnataka today. One man makes a difference. His character. Last year he paid 8 crores income tax. Somebody asked him, why don't you manipulate and pay less? He said, what? This profit, this money belongs to the nation. How can my conscience say it is for me? This is the profit, this is the tax percentage. Very clear by the finance minister. It has to go back. If I have earned the nation's money, it has to go back that profit. 8 crores income tax. Karma Yoga philosophy or the Bhakti Yoga philosophy and the Gnana Yoga philosophy, everything which Vivekananda wanted, he has invested or implemented in his factory. Today that factory is called what? Not Polyhydron Industries, it is called Business Ashram. Business Ashram. You go to Belgaum station and ask an auto driver, take me to Polyhydron Industries, they will not know. But you ask the Business Ashram ko lekar jao, they will immediately take you. It's so popular, so loving, so fantastic. And his administrative block, it is called Temple of Ethics. Temple of Ethics. Clean, beautiful board, which is a eye-opener to many people who say, oh, how can we be truthful? How we cannot be in this world? He is proving it. He is transparent. Character has changed. His profits are increasing. That is the way we have to lead our life. Not just working for somebody. Why don't we make India strong in our own indigenous methods? There is Vivekananda comes. Shall India die? Beautiful, in this book, he asked the question, shall India die? Who asked this question? Who is asking? A sannyasi? Shall India die? Prime Minister also will not ask this question. Then from the world, then the whole world will die. And he gives a 1-2 paragraph, response to it. If India dies, all ideality will be extinct. All morality will be extinct. All sweet soul sympathy will be extinct. All spirituality will be extinct. And in its place will reign the duality of lust and luxury as the male and female deities, money as its priest, fraud, force, competition its ceremonies, and human soul is sacrificed. But such a thing can never be. India will never die. What a powerful vision and a observation and presentation. Body boils if you read that. India will never die. But look at the other cultures, look at the other things. Dying, every moment dying. Out of fear, out of lust, out of luxury, out of just physical comforts. So it's our duty through this Seva, through the organizations, through others, to preserve that spiritual light also. Unadulterated spirituality. It's our birthright. By this unadulterated spirituality, tremendous mental freedom we will get. Tremendous inner strength we will get. I challenge upon the people. Because if somebody has heard Balagangadhar Tilak, he wrote a beautiful commentary on the Bhagavad Gita in Marathi called Gita Rahasya. Do you know where he wrote this Bhagavad Gita commentary? Not in an ashram, not in his house, not in some temple. He wrote it in Mandalay jail in Burma. Sitting in the jail, Tilak ji writes a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Somebody asked him, sir, writing a commentary of Bhagavad Gita in the jail, odd place, how did you write? He says, that was the only time that I had. How did you write there? The British could capture my body, they could not capture my mind. I did not give the mind to them. My mind was with Krishna. So sitting in the jail, he wrote a beautiful commentary. It's a masterpiece in Marathi literature, Gita Rahasya. What does this idea teach us? It shows, in spite of the physical disabilities or imprisonment, mentally if you are free, you are the richest man in the earth. But today it's opposite. Physically we are free, mentally we are corrupted or imprisoned. That is the problem today. So this Seva acts like a drilling machine. It acts like a purity drilling machine. Then a real light will shine. So let us do that Seva with a much deeper faith and feeling. And whenever you go to work, as they were telling, Bharat Mata's inspiration, Gandhiji's inspiration, Vivekananda transformed the idea of India itself. There is a Vivekananda's disciple, Sister Christine, who sold everything and came to Bengal along with Sister Nivedita to serve in the streets of Calcutta. She says, the first time we heard Vivekananda telling the word India, we could not imagine that in that 5 alphabets there was so much involved. When he uttered the word India, it seemed the auditorium or the people used to feel the love, the faith, the history of India. Just the word India. He did not go into details also. He says one man could give so much for India. You people should read the detailed life of Vivekananda. Don't go in for just a small book set up. Detailed life, 2 volumes is there in English or Telugu. Your head will reel 360 degrees. Can a man think about it in 9 years' time? We have not even touched the one grain of what he has done for India or can think of India. There's a beautiful, request which Vivekananda himself made to one lady called Josephine MacLeod. And he was coming back from America to India. Josephine asked, Swamiji, you gave us so much in those 4 years of your life. What can I do for you? He did not give a big list of I want this, I want that. He just said, sister, love India. That's all. That was his need. Sister, love India. Believe it or not, for the next 37 years, that sister Josephine MacLeod not only loved India, lived India. And she said, India is my kingdom, the king is Vivekananda. She used to carry always thousands of dollars in her purse. Thousands of dollars at that time. Freedom movement was raging. People were disturbed. Whole country was in violence, turmoil. And this foreign lady is carrying thousands of dollars and going by train or by horse carriage. Somebody asked, why are you carrying so much? The only thing she said, I do not know when the king comes in what form. He will ask something from me, I should be ready to give. For the people of India, she sacrificed her life. So along with our work, can I think differently about India? I request all the students, wherever I go and this one, if they are engineering students, I tell, keep the picture of Vivekananda, keep the picture of Vishveshwaraya, and keep the picture of India. Whatever you do in your classroom, in your project, in your work, should have a recurring change in the GDP or the economy of the country. Otherwise, it is useless, your work. It's a waste if you are only earning for somebody's this one. Then you are a beggar. There's something larger than your personality. You should have a higher goal and take it as a challenge. Whatever you do. Even drinking a glass of water, can it bring a change in the country? Then you see, whatever you do will have a tremendous golden, metamorphosis in the country. What is crude oil afterwards? Seva is purifying agent, I told you. Just one point I shall tell and stop here. Crude oil brought out from the base of the earth. Has anybody seen crude oil being sent to the market directly? It will be a colossal waste, is it not? It is sent to the refinery directly. HPCL, BPCL, CPCL, IOL, etc. It is purified. It is refined. The refinement is what service can do to you. Then the pure oil flows through the barrels and your vehicles are moving, engines are moving, flights are moving because of pure oil. Where was the pure oil? It was mixed in crude oil. Similarly, the change that I want to see starts by purifying myself, my personality, my character. Service. Don't stand a high pedestal and just because you have time and money or the intelligence, don't think I can give 5 rupees. Bend down. Be grateful that the man is there for me to express myself. Do namaskaram to him. Do namaskaram to him. He's a living God before you. Then come back and meditate. Come back and rejuvenate yourself. The service is, Seva is a very deep subconscious catalyst. It can go into the deep roots and remove all the samskaras. A new vibrations will form. And I'm sure and hope along with your professional excellence, you take up this service excellence. And the net result is human excellence. Thank you very much. Namaskaram.